Hey everyone, I am so on time. Welcome, how are you? I'm just going to hop on to the group on my phone because I can't see comments for some reason. I can't see comments for some reason on my computer. So give me a shout out, say hello, let me know you're here. Make sure, let me know if you can see and hear me, okay? On time. Yep, Paula. Thank you for being here. Good, I can see everything. Thank you. I can see your comments. I can see everyone here. Welcome. Happy Thursday. It's great to be doing this first like widespread workshop. This is my first collaboration with this group, so I am happy to be here with you guys. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm gonna be just like sipping tea and talking at you. I picked up something, I don't know. Hey Brittany, hey Justin, hey Christina, thank you. Hey Paula, welcome. So I'm just gonna take it easy for a bit, let people come in, let you know what we're going to be discussing today. And so thank you for being here. We're going to be talking about Vesta, Goddess Vesta, aka Hestia, how to create an abundant home with her, how to work with her, who she is, her story, my story, because I know a lot of us have stories, usually pretty harrowing ones, to go along with working with deities, with our own spiritual pursuits and development. So yeah, so we're going to be talking about that, and you're going to be learning simple daily practices you can use to actually bring her into your home. And she's she's a goddess, but she is very available and she's very mundane, in that how many of you have lit a candle or a flame or a pilot light or something? Hi Jessica. Good. You'll be learning plenty about her. So let me know if you've done any of that. I know we all have. She is the flame. So she's different from other gods and goddesses and deities because she didn't have as many statues as all the others. So once you're lighting that flame, that is her presence that you're bringing into your home. So hey Kimberly, how are you? So we're going to be learning all about that, and I'm going to be sharing with you a free gift I created. It is a candle spell. Well, it's more than that. So it's a spell to call in your abundant dream home, and that's going to be your gift. I'm going to share that link after when I'm wrapping up this video. Okay, so how's everyone doing today? Hi, I'm really excited to learn more about Vesta. She seems so kind-hearted from the Greek-Roman pantheon. Elizabeth, yes, this is why I like her so much. She doesn't, as you'll hear later on, she doesn't do drama. She is very kind, and we're going to learn about one of the stories is why she actually left Mount Olympus, because she was tired of all the gods and goddesses' drama. And backstabbing and basically causing trouble for the human race. So I like her. It's one of the reasons I connected to her, and I'm sure there's going to be something about her that you're all going to connect to and find really resonates with you, even though she is a deity. She's, like I said, she's very supportive and kind and loving, and I've always found that about her. And I'm going to be sharing this amazing message from my tarot cards that she gave me yesterday when I asked about what she wants me to know about the presentation. So she's very supportive of this as well. All right, so first we're going to be talking about a goddess who's pretty different from her brothers and sisters. Like I said, she was involved in simple daily tasks of domesticity, and she appeared everywhere, in homes and in public buildings as a flame. And like I said, she's actually represented by a flame. There weren't that many statues for her, so we're going to be learning about that later. And she shuns drama. Like I said, she chose to remain a virgin and unmarried, like a few of the other gods, like a few of the other goddesses. And all the goddesses I seem to be attracted to seem to be virgins, like Artemis, Vesta, and I think Athena was as well. Someone correct me, but they all have resourcefulness in common, level-headedness. They didn't do like, petty squabbles and all that. So this is really, once I got to know more about them, this is really what connected me to them. And she was also the only Roman deity to have a full-time clergy devoted to her worship. So you've heard of the Vestal Virgins. We're going to be talking more about them later. They were very important to the Roman belief system, and also to women, to the women who were chosen to become the Vestal Virgins. She was very important, not only to society, but also to their worship. And there actually weren't that many statues of her. She is a flame, and she's present in it every time you light one. So I'm going to be lighting this candle here today. This was actually given to me by a fellow witch and psychic who hand makes these. So this is a money and abundance candle. And today's Thursday, so it's an awesome day to do your money and abundance work as well. We're talking about an abundant home, so this all kind of goes hand in hand. So does anyone have any questions? How about I scroll down? Jessica says, yes, I study Greco-Roman myth, and there are like 2 myths of her, and I am sure there is more about her. I am going to be giving you like a general context about her as a deity, and a couple other stories that I think are really important that I picked up along the way. I'll just give you another, more of a feel for her. So this was just a taste of what we're going to learn about Vesta today. And about me, I got into the occult basically in grade school. I started getting books on witchcraft, on the witch burnings in like 4th grade from the grade school library. I don't even know why some of those were in there. They were kind of gory and violent, but I got into that, so I've been into this for a while, as I know most of you are. I started a business in 2008, Moonthrall Tarot, so I began reading professionally then also. I had a dark night of the soul in my late 20s, again, like a lot of people do. And then I began taking my true skills and talents seriously and stopped depending on other people to make a living and to find validation, and really started working with magic and spiritual pursuits as self-development. So instead, I delved into magic, different deities, hoodoo, divination. I started bringing out my talents to other people, to reading professionally, as well as working on personal development. So instead of, oh my god, I need help now, like, help me out, like I need to run off this candle spell, I've been working on more of a personal, like, internal study, that sort of thing. When you really start to understand yourself and your motive for things, and you want to work on yourself, this is where magic and spirituality and your own development go hand in hand. So I now write about these topics, and I offer over a decade of experience in of being a pro reader, and I combine traditional tarot cards with psychic messages. So I tend to be clairvoyant and clairsentient, and I cast magic for you. So your readings now combine psychic skills with cards, and I always light a candle for you after your reading to keep the good energy going. Let me see, any questions? No, cool. All right, so we're gonna dive more into Vesta's story, who she was, how she came about, and so what's going on with her. So she was one of the original deities, born of the Titans Kronos and Rhea, and yes, she was swallowed. Kronos did swallow her first, and then her brothers and sisters. I believe Jupiter, aka Zeus, was the one who was the one who kind of hid and then either cut him open or he got his brothers and sisters out. She was one of those original ones, so she was actually known as the youngest as well as the oldest one, because she went in first and she came out last. So she's known as the youngest, both the youngest and oldest deity, Roman or Greek. And because of her beauty, the other gods fought over her. Two of them, notably, I believe it's Apollo and Neptune. And she shunned romantic attention and drama. Like I said, she didn't want any of that. She was one of, the well-known virgin goddesses. So she asked her brother, Jupiter, aka Zeus, to let her remain a virgin. And upon being granted her request, Vesta happily took care of her brother's home. So she lived in Mount Olympus with the other gods and goddesses, cleaned his home, took care of it, kept everything running smoothly. And this is where her connections to the hearth and home came in. So, the ideas of cooking and heating water, it's everything we use flame and fire for. So even back then, thousands of years ago, we can relate to all this now. So cooking and heating water, light, warmth, gathering places, and it was also a means of burning offerings and sacrifices. So maybe not so much now, but like we definitely do, you light a candle, you write an intention paper down, you burn that, you can write a note of gratitude, of thanks for being given what you want. You could burn that as well. We burn offerings, so we do all these things today. And this was also very important at the time in every home and public building. She wasn't just on Mount Olympus. She wasn't about pretty statues. She was honored in every home. This was she was widespread, her presence in the flame, because everyone used it. And her symbols were the fire, obviously, the kettle, which was another symbol of domesticity, the kettle for carrying and heating water, flowers, the donkey, because the donkey would turn the mill to grind flour. Flour was made into bread, baking, home cooking, and she was always shown fully clothed and veiled, which are how the Vestal virgins were shown as well, because she was a virgin. She shunned romantic and sexual relationships. So she's always shown as fully clothed and veiled, also much like the Virgin Mary. So there's kind of that, which is also shown, the Immaculate Heart of Mary is shown with a flame. So there is a lot of different connections you can see in Christianity also. And her shrine in Rome had a continual fire maintained by these Vestal virgins. Now, this was not open to the public, but only women could enter during the Vestalia. So you've probably heard of Bacchanalia, Saturnalia. Her Vestalia actually, interesting, thank you, I'm glad you're enjoying this. Her Vestalia actually ended. It was just June 7th through June 15th. So during this week, her temple was cleaned. The sweepings were thrown into the Tiber River to be cleansed and carried away. So again, water as seen as, taking away that which is unwanted and cleansing the place. And the Roman New Year, March 1st, was when her flame was renewed. So I'm going to be talking later about daily practices. If you want to use March 1st or our own New Year of January 1st to do a big cleansing and to renew her altar and, just have her in your home, invite her in while you're doing that big New Year's cleansing. That would be an awesome thing to do. Or using March 1st itself and spring cleaning. Everyone's doing that anyway, so get your Vesta altar up and light a candle for her and invite her into your home. So these Vestals were revered. They were different because, and we're talking about Roman society, they could own property and they could vote. Now this was a 30-year commitment, so from the ages of about 6 to 10, they were chosen. Marissa says, the fire connection is important to me. Maintaining the fire by a group of women is interesting. Yes, I am a fire sign. I'm an Aries. So I definitely connect to that, and candle magic is one of my favorite forms of magic. So these Vestals were revered. Again, 6 to 10. They were chosen from nobility, so from the noble class. They were examined make sure they didn't have any defects, and they were educated, they were guarded, they were transported around by carriage. They were taught how to maintain the flame. They were taught everything about society because of their temperament and their education and their honesty and their wisdom. They were entrusted, so they had a huge part in society, as well as financial matters, also in truces. So they were involved in diplomacy, in finance, and they were entrusted with important matters. They could go to games, they can go out to public places where women at the time usually weren't allowed to. So they had a lot of sway. They were seen as lucky, which is why, even though they were a little older, once they came out of being a Vestal after the 30-year commitment, they were still sought after. So it was considered lucky to marry a Vestal. But surprise, surprise, according to all the sources I looked at, most of them chose not to marry. So they chose to keep, they were given money, they were given a comfortable, almost like a pension. So they were given a comfortable retirement in their late 30s, about 40 was when they finished. So they still were held in high regard even after that. So good for them. But there's also, this is kind of the dark side. They were under very strict supervision, and marriage or a sexual relationship, a romantic or sexual relationship while they were a Vestal, was punishable by death. So they were seen as married to the state. So they couldn't actually be outright killed, so they were usually entombed or buried alive and given food and water for about a week or so until they died. And the man they were caught with was also whipped to death. So again, I have not felt such harshness from Vesta herself. That's incredible. Yeah, so I have not felt this from Vesta herself. She's always been very kind and loving. This says more about the importance of the Vestals in Roman society and how they handled capital punishment. So that was pretty tough on them. And this is kind of where these are another two stories where she was kind of seen differently in history. So later on, she was actually seen as a wife of Vulcan. So Vesta and Vulcan, and a fire, like the goddess of the flame, and Vulcan, the god of fire, which volcano comes from. Another deity connected to fire. He was a supremely skilled blacksmith and artisan. And one reason I heard this in school. I know in grade school is when most of us pick this up. It's like gods and goddesses become a staple when we learn about Greece and Rome. She was actually paired with Vulcan because of her temperament and loyalty. And Vulcan was deformed. He had a lame leg when he fell down from Mount Olympus as a baby, landed in the ocean, never quite healed right. And the gods believed she would remain loyal to Vulcan, even though he was deformed. But he was also a very, very skilled artisan. He made wonderful items for the gods and goddesses, and he made her a gift, so she had a lovely necklace or piece of jewelry from him. And another story, and this is a one I found. This is a one that really resonated with me, especially during the time I was going through. Another story showing the widespread devotion of her followers and kind of more of an independent and feisty side is one of her leaving Mount Olympus. So, she had been charged with caring for Zeus's home, and after she heard about her family's exploits, all the drama, the backstabbing, messing with humans, the rape, the pillage, she got fed up, and she came down from the god's world into the city. And she knew she would be welcomed into all homes and places because of the simple necessity that fire was used daily by everyone. She was kind, she was resourceful, she provided a lot to the people. So she knew, she was just like, I'm going to pack my bags and take my flame and go out into the city because I can't stand you people. So I love that story, and it shows that she didn't remain complacent. So she was tired of all that, and she's like, you know what, I'm going to go help out the people who are lighting my flame. Let me see. Christina says, I probably wouldn't want a man after 30 years of independence either. Jessica said, okay, so this is a, correcting history, correcting my view. Well, but in Rome, a Roman woman was allowed to divorce and keep her own property. Good. Okay. Thank you, Jessica, for clarifying that. Everything that I saw kind of made it seem like it was very unusual for the Vestals to be able to own property and vote by themselves. Like they weren't married at all, but they could do that as single women. Okay, so this is why, so that was why it was so wonderful. She's so wonderful to work with in home matters. Okay, so we're going to be covering, let me see. Everyone cool? All right. So we're going to be covering simple practices you can do every day. And I'm also going to be sharing you my story and a working to create your own abundant home. And that's going to be your gift. So usually simple is best. Like I said, I was a little under the weather. I still am. Like yesterday, I just sat in front of her altar with a croissant and a cup of tea because sometimes that's all you feel like doing. And so I was really connected and made aware of Vesta several years ago, and this maybe it took another witch to point it out because I suddenly got fired from my job. And if you've been to my website, if you've watched a couple of my videos or read my articles, I mention this a lot as kind of a turning point. And this is a dark night I was mentioning. Jessica says, no worries, I studied Greco-Roman culture, I got your back. Thank you, Jessica. So this was a dark night I was talking about. This was about 10 years ago or so. I worked in basically a horrible job with a few horrible people. It was an awesome place, but just a few people really ruined it. And I suddenly got fired, even though I could tell it was coming. I had hunches. I paid off my car. I was like, I gotta, I might not have money coming in. I gotta work on all this. The tarot cards were coming up. I just got this feeling suddenly, and I think a lot of people do, especially if you're aware of your own, aware of your own intuition. But this sudden feeling of just, I'm not going to have a job soon. I think something's going to happen. We'll see. And then things like tangible things started coming up to prove all that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get out. I'm going to be out of here soon. And so just before that, I knew something was up. And, this was my dark night. This was my, putting too much dependence and too much stock into, the insults I was getting. This was a place where you would get cursed off, called names. Female coworkers and customers were called the C word by one guy in particular. And it's just, you couldn't do anything right. And we were all giving, most of us were giving 110%. Like the manager said, you can give 110%, but if everyone around you is working against you, you can't do anything right. So that was happening. And so I ran to, all this was happening, and then I ran to the local witch shop and got an amazing reading from this cool witch and psychic who dropped F-bombs and gave me this amazing spell later on, which I used to get a roommate who I still have 6 years later, and we're friends and we get along well. So I came out of the reading and I was looking for candles and things. She's like, do the spell for a new job, and oh, by the way, work with Vesta, she likes you. I'm like, what? So I had heard of her, but after that I really started reading up on who she was, what her qualities were, and that was, oh my god, sounds really toxic. Yeah, it was. I think my screen froze, so let me know if I'm still good, guys, all right? So this is where I really started reading about her, and I'm like, all right, she's independent. I had my home business then. I was just minding my own business and knitting. We had some drama going around, with the other people in my apartment and our neighbors. So this was, video still good? So this was when I started doing work on my own to get out of there and to help support myself. And so she also protects as well. She protects what you've worked for, your valuables, your possession. I just paid off a car and I wanted to keep my home. And so I worked with her and I got jobs, plural. Still here? Oh, good. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So jobs, plural. I got back unemployment pay, and most amazingly of all, and this was another manifesting thing I had been manifesting for years beforehand, I got free training to become a licensed massage therapist, which I still do today, and I'm developing my own practice. So all that happened right after this dark night. Kind of brought me back on my feet, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. And now I'm able to bring my skills out to help others in a different way as a massage therapist. So, yay! Who is here? Jessica says, I have been there too. I'm so sorry you're still going. Okay, good, thank you. Yeah, a lot of us have. And it usually takes a while. It usually takes when you've relied on other people too long, or when you've been taking their crap, and really start almost you start to believe the stuff they tell you. Like, this was a super toxic place. It was changing the way I thought about myself. So it was nice to let that go, and I swear I was like the happiest I've ever been driving home that night. Like, it was awesome. I just like cranked up, rolled my windows down, cranked up the rock station. I was like, bye guys, I'll see you at dinner. Let's go to a bar and, hang out and have a drink. So yeah, it was a good time. Video's still going. Good, thank you. So that was cool. So that was when I got introduced to her and started really working with her and really taking spell work and the idea of magical workings seriously. All right, so we're going to be talking about simple daily practices you can bring into your life to work with Vesta. Now, again, she is a flame, so think of working with her. Think of inviting her into your home first. So we don't use deities. I know some people are like, oh, how can I, what saint is good to use for yada yada? I'm like, they're not a vending machine. So these are, think of inviting her first. So I will tell you about my altar. It's pretty simple. Again, she's not a flashy goddess. So it's a little wicker table by my window. It has a couple plants, her candle as well. If you have a candle on there, for her, make sure it's bigger, because that is, it's different than a magical candle. This isn't a candle that like you dress and inscribe with intentions and then you put honey on and oils and herbs on it. This is herself. So once you light that candle, she appears. That's her being. She's embodied in the flame. So you can have a candle. I also have a deck that I communicate with her. Some crystals are okay. You can also set out flour, salt, and olive oil. And the flour, the salt, and olive oil are all used in cooking. So they're simple items. They all would have been used in Rome, in the kitchen. And I'm going to share the message that she gave me. And I'm just going to make sure you can see these. So this is a Llewellyn deck. This is a deck I use to communicate with deities. So I keep this close by. I also use it for client readings. It is a beautiful deck and one of my favorites. And this just to show you how loving she actually is. Now I can't see my screen, so I'm hoping you could see this. Now this was the top card. This is a message from Vesta, and it's a star. And it is basically blessing and supporting this workshop. It is connecting. If you see the star up here, so the heavens, we have Stonehenge in the background. So we have a sacred site that's also real. This isn't a real world. This isn't this is a deck that's about mythology, but this shows real places on Earth. So this is connecting the real world, you know, our mundane life, with the sacred, with the star, and with hope and guidance. So this is saying it's bringing about very real, tangible practices that, you know, you guys can use in your own homes. And then we have the Seven of Swords and the Two of Cups. And I always draw the Two of Cups. I always draw the Two of Cups when asking about spiritual pursuits and anything about basically what Spirit wants me to know. And I see these as the two people being on equal footing, about giving as much and receiving as much as you're giving. So, you know, mutual support and love, you know, give and take. And the Seven of Swords as being, as representing independence, but maybe a need to ask for help and to receive that support. So these are all ways that you can ask for that support and that love in your home, and to provide a loving, welcoming, warm home for yourself and your loved ones. So this was her message to me about this video and this workshop, and I'm hoping you're getting as much out of it too. So one easy way you can invite Vesta into your home is speak magic and give thanks. Gratitude is an important part of any spiritual or magical pursuit, and if you give gratitude for what you're doing, for what you have in your everyday pursuits and activities around your home, this is a wonderful way to bring her in. So while you're cleaning, especially using natural products, if you make your own floor sweep, floor wash, incense, fumigation, I usually have some Palo Santo. It's easy to light. You just hold the stick, or if you use a smudge stick, it's easy to invoke her and to say something like, you know, thank you, Vesta. Thank you for this wonderful home. Thank you for this time to clean and, you know, make it clean for myself and my family, and so our loved ones can enjoy that. You know, thank you for everything that I have. While you're preparing food, baking, she loves baking. So while you're preparing food, you can just kind of bless or speak over the ingredients you're using. Please, hail Vesta, make my cake come out awesome. You know, say something like that. Let everyone enjoy it. Let this food bless and nourish us spiritually, mentally, physically. While you're gardening, while you're just enjoying your home, while you're just sitting around, you know, enjoying your living space, while you're eating or drinking, while you're entertaining. The fire is all about gathering and focus. So think of bonfires, think of the fireplace, think of the candles you light on your dining room table when you're having a meal with someone, when you're bathing, and when you're putting away new purchases. So I just did this. I went out and bought a few new things, and while putting them away, I could just say something like, thank you for me being able to enjoy these wonderful things and enjoy them in my home. May they be an enjoyable, wonderful part of my home now. You know, you're bringing in new things, so you just want to invoke Vesta to bless that for your highest good. Let me see, everyone cool? Christina, lovely. I'm going to get some new candles for my hearth, yes. And awesome places for her to either have a statue or a candle itself would be the hearth, the fireplace. If you don't light a fire, light the candle and put it in where a fire would be. The kitchen, on top of your range, your workspace, your kitchen island. You can put a little shelf on there, place a candle on it so she can oversee all your cooking, and the kitchen is usually the hub of your home. The entrance, mine personally, is in my bedroom because I kind of like to keep my roommate's cool with everything, but it's really the only space I've got, and I like being able to sit and just commune quietly with her, and again, like sip some tea. It's nice to bring some bread or something to eat and, you know, share a meal with your god or goddess. So while you're lighting their candle or giving them something to nourish them, it's nice to nourish yourself as well. Christina says, some of the big round pillars, nice. Marissa, great ideas about cleaning and baking. Paula, I have too many tails around my place for lighted candles, but there will be other things I can do. Yeah, you can put them, I've seen those, these beautiful lanterns. So they're these big glass things that you open the door and you put a candle in. We had cats, and one of them jumped once on my altar. I had to scoot him off. And that's when I realized I should probably close my door when I have candles lit, because they would come up and sit on all my cards and jump up, and Buddha was a naughty boy. So he jumped up and was pretty close to my candle. So that's when I realized I should probably play it safe. All right, so yeah, all these things, simple ways, and she is a, not to be, it's not negative or anything, but she is a simple goddess. She appreciates the simplicity of the home, of daily chores and tasks. So invoke her, thank her for all you have, while you're doing simple things, you know, just cleaning, doing laundry, putting things away, anything that you're adding to your home. So you can talk to her that way as well. Jessica says, once you build a relationship with her, could you invoke her to work with the Vesta asteroid placement in your own birth chart? Jessica, I have no idea what the Vesta asteroid placement is. I'm sure you could. I know birth charts tend to kind of influence our makeup. So yes, I have worked with her not only to protect the things I have in my home, but also myself for security, for enjoying my home more, for having more gratitude in what I have. So again, I don't know what that is, but yes, once you build that relationship, and this is all kind of like an intro to help you build that relationship, and then I'm going to share a working that you can do. So absolutely. And you can pull cards on that. But yes, she is a very kind goddess, and I do believe that she would be able to work with you. What is the Vesta asteroid? I didn't know there was one. I have to look that up. Thanks for sharing that. Marissa says, great question. It was. So I'm going to look that up myself, but good question. Thank you, Jessica. Let us know what you find. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the gift I made for creating your abundant dream home. And this is a spell I created. It combines a lot of my favorite types of magic, using your imagination, candle magic, writing things down, working with deity. Boom. So there it is. Yeah, writing things down, working with deity, creating. There you go. Creating an altar. And so there you go. You can download that now. I just pinned the comment. And so this is where you actually get to create a home filled with everything you want. So it combines a few different types of magic, and you might all be familiar with that. And it's for when you want to either move into a new home or you want to add things to the home you already have. And a big part of it is, like in all magic, is being grateful for what you have. So instead of like, writing your list and like jumping on Vesta right away and saying, I want this, this, and this, and has to have this in a pool and yada, yada. You want to open with being grateful for what you have already, being appreciative of everything you like in your home now. Thank you for the gift. You're welcome, Christina. Jessica says mine is in Virgo. Okay. Virgos are very, I know Virgos tend to be, all my Virgo friends are super organized. They had like the best dorm rooms out of all my friends. They're super organized and detail oriented. And I've known a few Virgos socially and at work. And they love details. Elizabeth says, oh, I love the spell. Thank you for sharing a lovely and thoughtful gift. You are welcome, Elizabeth. I hope it serves you well. So you want to begin with being grateful for what you have. First, you want to set up an altar and welcome Vesta into your home first, into the home you have now. It doesn't matter if you live with your parents or you're renting, you have a house, you're looking to move. You want to welcome her and set up a place for her in your home so she's welcome as well, and then she can help you make your home more inviting as well for yourself and your loved ones. So the link is there. I hope you enjoy that. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, if you have any more questions, let me know because I'm about to wrap up. So there is your gift. I hope you enjoy it. I wanted to let you know I am having a summer solstice sale. Summer solstice starts tomorrow, guys. It's already here, and I'm having a sale on tarot readings on my website. So you can find me at moonthrall.com. All those are going to be on sale through the weekend, so you can get your readings with me. I love working with wonderful people around the world to help you. Help you address patterns from your past, why you keep doing things, as well as self-improvement and a heads up on the future. So I combine self-development, self-improvement with predictions. So yes, I like to kind of span both worlds. And I do predictions. I love doing them. And I have so much good feedback from clients over the years. So I would love to work with you. And you can pick up your reading on sale. To celebrate the summer solstice, go to moonthrall.com. All my links are on the side. And let me see. Yeah, so you can sign up for Moonbeams. If you are on my email list, I'm going to be emailing you the replay and the gift link. All right, guys, so thank you for watching. Christina highly recommends Svetlana for her spell work too. Thank you. I'm doing this more. You can buy, I have a self-love magic and tarot reading package as well. I love working on this. This is my thing. I love helping people figure out, because we've all been there, and it's easy to let other people get you down. And I love working with especially women who want to start their own business or become independent or who just need help. Seeing what makes them amazing. I have a reading for that. Thank you so much. This came at the right time for me. I need new housing. Jessica, good. There you go. Hi, Leonie. Marissa, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, guys. So I am at moonthrall.com, Moonthrall Tarot on Facebook. I also have a free group, a private secret group called Firestarter, where I work more in depth and more one-on-one with you guys on all these things, self-development. I share magic tips, psychic development tips, fun everyday tips, just like this. I don't like making things too I don't like making things like impossible to do. I want to make all this available and accessible to you, and I want magic to be accessible for everyone. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Happy Thursday, happy solstice, and take care. Bye.